So, welcome to episode number 6 of the football podcast at the Anfield Red. And before I begin this, I'm really sorry that I couldn't post the post match analysis podcast of Liverpool versus Porto game, the second leg of the UEFA Champions League, down to some reason. So, a big sorry for that. Anyhow, moving on to today's podcast segment. Here, I'm talking about the battle of the biggest rivals in the English football, that is Liverpool. They travel away to Old Trafford to play Manchester United for their 30th Premier League game, and it's a big game for the Reds, and as much as for us, it's a big game for Manchester United, who are at second position in the league table, just 2 points above us. Anyone who wins this fixture will definitely be holding a strong position to finish number second. So, yeah, let's begin this podcast and let me tell you the stats between the two sides, that is Liverpool and Manchester United head to head. Not in the Premier League, but overall their league record before the inception of the Premier League. United have won 67 games, Liverpool have won 55, and 46 of those games ended in a draw. So those are the stats, but they don't matter in if any of the sides are playing a good football on a given day. And talking about the past few results, the last three league matches between the both sides ended in a draw. So it would be really interesting to see which side does something good, or win this clash, or will it be another draw. We will have to wait for the 90 minutes to pass for that. And now talking about our managers pre match conference, what he said, Klopp, he stated that the significance of clashes between Liverpool and Manchester United cannot be overstated, but he has urged his players to focus on the game and not on the occasion. That's pretty right by Klopp. You need to keep your focus on the game. Occasion doesn't matter. You need to get a result. So just go there, play your beautiful football, give your best, and grind out the result. He also stated that he won't mind parking the bus at the Old Trafford. So a bit funny, but we will have to see what happens, how other team plays, how our opposition plays. We will have to apply our tactics accordingly. So let's wait for the game to begin, and we will know how this clash going to happen and how much entertaining football we will be seeing. Klopp has further stated that they are physically really strong, and if they defend deep, it makes our life not easier. That's how it is, but I don't expect it to be all the time like this, because they don't do it all the time. We He also states we know we have a chance, and that's actually the best news you can get. But you will never get a better news. So let's try to use this chance. That's all. So those are right points made by our coach before going into this game. He also says it's the biggest game I can imagine. Firstly, of all, really looking forward to it. But as always, it will be difficult. So surely it will be difficult as it's a away game, and they are a top opponent and sitting at number 2 in the league table. Klopp also says that we need to be at 100%, if not even a few more to get something there, but even a few more to get something there. But of course, that's the plan. It's a good moment. It's a good moment to go there, but it's it's still unbelievably difficult moment. Man United have outstanding quality. We all know that. So he's stating what we all know. Also, before I move on to starting 11 prediction, there is a good news that Salah has won, which you all must be knowing, won the Premier League Player of the Month for February. So, and here's what he had to say ahead of the clash. So, a big congratulations to Salah for getting that second award, Player of the Month award. He previously won this award as well. So what he said ahead of his Manchester United game, and also he's looking to add to his 32 goal haul against Manchester United as well. He says about the United keeper, that is David De Gea. He says De Gea is a great goalkeeper, and this is the only team I did not score against in the top 6 this season. So I will try to score. I try to look for a goal in any game I play. I thought already about that, and I'm very excited to play in that game. This is the only team in the top six I didn't score against, only Manchester United. So it's quite obvious and evident from his intentions and words that he would definitely be looking to score a goal and maybe guiding his team to a win. But what happens, we will have to watch the game throughout, and we will know whether he scores against this top quality goalkeeper or not. There's interesting observation coming from our forward red, that is Peter Crouch. He says, "Look at Firmino, he is a top goal scorer. But the thing that blows me away is what happens when he loses the ball. He has covered 165 miles in the Premier League this season. So that's a really impressive stat from Roberto Firmino, which we all know is a workhorse and he keeps grinding in the park whenever he plays a game. So that's definitely something that would impress anyone, and there's no doubt that's coming from Peter Crouch's side, that he about how good the player is. He is definitely talking in that way. Now, after doing this, let's move on to starting 11 prediction. You can know me your predictions in the comments below, but here goes my predictions. For goalkeeper, definitely, Loris Karius is starting at centre back position. Van Dijk and Lovren would be a perfect fit. Although I think Matip may get a chance, but as far as I've seen, Van Dijk and Lovren fits well in their connection at the defense. So I'm expecting them to start. In left back position, again, Robertson will start without any doubt, and Trent Arnold who made his debut at Old Trafford last season. It was an impressive debut for him. The game which ended in a draw. So I'm expecting him to be starting at a right back position. Now moving on to midfield, Henderson, Emre Can, and James Miller. I'm expecting to start. So those will be the three players. Maybe Wijnaldum can start at the place of Emre Can. I can assume that to happen, but I think the three I mentioned would be the perfect fit. And talking about our forwards, definitely Salah, Mane, and Firmino will be our three forwards. So those are the starting 11 predictions from my side. I would definitely love to know what are your predictions. Please let know in the comments below. And now, before ending this podcast, there is something interesting. There is interesting update coming about transfers from our coach, that is Jurgen Klopp. So our manager says that Liverpool will spend big to sign top talent in summer if they are convinced about a player's quality and value. It's coming from James Pierce Eco from Liverpool Echo. He has published this info outlet where Klopp has stated that that this club will do whatever we have to do. The owners are ready for that. Van Dijk was the sign for it, but it doesn't mean we only spend in this category. When the player is the right player, it is not important how expensive he was. He needs to fit in the team. That's why we paid the price for Virgil van Dijk. Klopp also stated that it's all about timing, doing the right thing at the right moment. If the player is the right player, this club will pay big money. If it's not the right player, it's not the value of the player in our minds, then you can't pay it. So it's right on point. If you need a player, you need to pay the amount. And Klopp also says that Liverpool owners are ready to spend to land the Premier League title uh, ahead of the game against our rivals Manchester United. He says that Klopp stated that it still needs to be a mix of bringing in the new player and letting the group grow. I- if you always change four or five positions, it's wrong. You don't make the team better. You can make it better in a long term, but nobody's waiting for the long term. So those are his thoughts about transfers. He also says that Liverpool's duty to entertain can bring silverware to Anfield. So it looks like our manager is really confident that we can definitely get silverware in coming years, and we could have got them. I mean, in his first season also we could have got them. We were in the two finals, but unluckily we didn't win those two finals. Anyhow, let's focus on what he said. Klopp says, we have so many fans all over the world who watch us. They have to get something. If they don't get silverware at the end of the season, we know the pressure here is to win the next game, and then the next day is to win a cup. He also adds that if we had won the two finals we played in my first season, the thing that I already mentioned, here everything would have settled to another level. It would have helped massively. Of course, if we won those two finals, we would have things would have definitely improved for the club, and we could have attracted more players. And here, Klopp further adds that it wouldn't have changed our style of play, but it would have been a sign. In this moment, it's always Liverpool are good, but we know that we don't live in the but, we live the rest. That's our situation. For us, it's the only way. So that's what he said about the situation, and he believes that our duty to entertain can definitely bring the silverware to Anfield, and we as a fan also believe that that can happen in coming time. Of course, we have evolved better under our current manager Jurgen Klopp, and we are into the quarterfinals of our Champions League as well. So let's hope for the best, and I will conclude this podcast on this segment. And you can let know what are your predictions about our game against Manchester United. I can say we can definitely win with the kind of form our forwards are in, and our midfield. If our midfield and defense complement them well, we are definitely getting the 3 points back and sitting on the number two position. So that's all I had in this podcast. What are your views about the final scoreline of this fixture? You can let know in the comments below. I will catch you soon in the post match analysis. Goodbye.